Hi, first graders. It's time to get started with our math lesson today. So if we could please take a look here at the screen. We're going to begin our math lesson with counting. It is so important that you learn how to count because learning how to count will help you when you start to add, bigger numbers, when you're subtracting and solving other problems. So counting is something you have to learn how to do. So please participate, do it for yourself. Here we go.
Come on, kids! Do you want to count to 100?
Count, 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 count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Count, 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 count.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
20. Count, count, count,
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29,
30. Count, count, count,
31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39,
40. Count, count, count,
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49,
50. Count, count, count,
51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59,
60. Count, count, count,
61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69,
70. Count, count, count,
71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79,
80. Count, 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 count.
81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89,
90. Count, 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 count.
91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99,
Count, 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 count. Said I can count to 100. Say I can count to 100. Come on. Say I can count to 100. Say I can count to 100. Count.
Okay, way to. So our learning target for today, because all good lessons start with a learning target that will tell you exactly what you're aiming for, says this. I can use what I know about 2D shapes to identify and draw them. So there are a few words in here that I do want to talk about. One of the words I would like to talk about again, we talked about it yesterday, is the word, or I guess it's the word 2D shape. So a 2D shape means that it has two dimensions. It has a top and it has a bottom. So another way that we name a 2D shape is to call it a flat shape. So it just has the top and the bottom. It does not have the sides. Okay. So we're going to think about what we know about 2D shapes, mostly the sides, corners, and we're going to identify them, which means name them, and we're going to draw them. So yeah, we're going to be naming and drawing two-dimensional shapes today. So just a really quick review from yesterday because a lot of us were in here learning about this yesterday. Another name for 2D shapes is a plane shape, not like an airplane, but a plane meaning a flat area, like a plane. So there's different planes. 2D shapes are flat and closed. What did we mean when we said closed? Let's pause and see who remembers. Good. So if it's closed, that means that all the sides connect. There's no openings. So we talked about 2D shapes having sides. They all have sides, straight sides. This is a triangle. A triangle has 3 straight sides. Actually, some 2D shapes have curved sides, but this triangle has straight sides. 2D shapes have corners. That's where those sides meet. This is a hexagon, and we said yesterday that a hexagon has 6 corners. So put your fingers together to make a corner. If this was a side and this is a side, where they meet at your fingertips would be called the corner. Another fancy name for corner is vertice. So we're going to talk a little bit about the attributes of our shapes. Here we have an octagon. Does anyone remember how many sides and corners an octagon has? Let's pause. Very good. 8 is the answer. Octagons have 8 sides and 8 corners. Nice job. Next up, we have an oval. Does anyone remember how many sides and corners an oval has? Let's pause. Correct, 0. Because a side, in order to be called a side, it has to be straight. So we have 0 with the oval. Good. Okay, what about a rectangle? Yesterday, one of our crew members said that this was his favorite shape. How many sides and corners does a rectangle have? Let's pause. Correct. That answer is 4. We have quite a few shapes that have 4 sides and 4 corners. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, what about a hexagon? Hexagon. Let's pause. Very good. A hexagon has 6 sides and 6 corners. When you spell 6, it's S-I-X, just like hex. So that's how I remember personally that a hexagon has 6 sides. They both have X. Good. Let's move on. And a triangle. How many sides and corners does a triangle have? This time, would everybody please show me on your fingers? Good. That answer is 3. Triangle has 3 sides and 3 corners. And by the way, if all the sides are the same size, we call that a regular triangle or a regular polygon. If they're not the same size, we call it an irregular polygon or triangle. Okay, here we have a rhombus. Show me on your fingers, friends, how many sides and corners does a rhombus have? Let me see. 4 is correct. I see a lot of you putting up your 4. A rhombus does have 4 sides and 4 corners. Okay, just like a square and a rectangle and a rhombus. Or I mean a rhombus, that's one that we're talking about. So yeah. All right. Now we have the square. We just talked about the square. This is an easier one. We know it has the 4 sides, 4 corners. Okay. What do you think you would have if you put 2 squares together? Any guesses? Like say I would draw another square. What do you think? What shape would I have? Let me pause. Yeah, you would have a rectangle. Good job. Okay, we have a couple more to go here. This shape is called a pentagon. Pentagon. Count up the sides and be ready to tell me how many sides and corners that they have. Pentagon has. Let me pause. You are correct. The answer is 5. Pentagons have 5 sides and 5 corners. Good. Some people think a pentagon looks like a house. Could put a door here. This is the roof, right? The two windows. And you got a house. Put your doorknob. Okay, you could put a little chimney on here. The smoke coming out the side. Okay. And my favorite, the trapezoid. Show me on your fingers. How many sides does a trapezoid have? Very good. 4 sides and 4 corners. I'm not going to write that one down. And then we have our circle. I love this one. How many sides does a circle have? I'm going to pause. You are correct. A circle has 0 sides and 0 corners because sides have to be straight. Good. And our last one is a star. Does anyone remember how many sides and corners a star has? Let me pause. Yes, 10. A star has 10 sides and 10 corners. Good. Okay, so now it's going to be time to go into Seesaw 2 activities. So you're going to go into Seesaw. I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about the 2 activities that you are going to be assigned. The first one is called 2D Shapes Created. Okay, so you're going to click on Add Response. And here's an example. So it says that it wants you to use the scribble or draw tool. I think I did this on accident. To create the shape in the box. So here's the circle, and it's an example of a student who drew the circle in the box. So you're going to do the circle. I'm trying to figure out why these are all so weird. Huh. All right, when you go in, they'll all be erased. I don't know why these are all done already, but I'll erase them, and they'll be all set for you. But you're going to go ahead and use your drawing tool to create each of those shapes. When you're done, you're going to click the check and send it off to me. Okay, so that's one of your assignments that you will be doing. And your other math assignment with shapes is identifying or naming the shapes. So it's called 2D Identify It. I'm going to click Add Response. And here's the example here. It says, look at the shapes. Use the stars to mark the correct shapes. So it names the shape by the arrow. So it says circle. And so this person, this is an example, moved the star on top of all of the shapes that were circles. So let's try this one. Actually, that's the circle again. Let's try this one. So this is a triangle. So you're going to use the hand tool, and you're going to move the star to cover all the triangles. So you'll cover that one, and the pizza, and the yield sign, and the chip. And this is sort of in the shape of a triangle. It's not closed, but it's taking that triangular shape. And then the rest of them do not look like triangles. So you will go through here on the side. You're going to do the rectangles, cover the squares, cover the rhombuses, the hexagons, the ovals, and the octagons, which are your 8-sided. When you're done with all of those slides, whoop, there's one more, trapezoids. There's 10. So when you're done with all those slides, click that check, and that sends it off to me. So go ahead and get started on your work. Remember, you're identifying and drawing 2-dimensional shapes. All right, great.